Keep on working. I'll be watching you like a hawk. Got it? Don't you dare take a single break until everything is spotless.
But there's nothing left to do. I've scrubbed all the dishes until they gleam like stars on a moonless night. I've cleaned up the room until you could eat off the floor. You could have a 3-course meal. Isn't that enough for you?
Have you done the laundry? Don't tell me you just threw everything together again. You know perfectly well that whites go in one pile and colors in another. Did you use the right detergent? Did you separate the colors properly? One mishap and your brother-in-law's favorite white shirt might turn into a shocking shade of pink. You wouldn't want to be the reason he throws a tantrum and ruins the entire family gathering, would you?
Yes, the laundry too. And I changed the couch covers. I even vacuumed under the cushion, even though you haven't vacuumed under there in, well, forever based on the dust bunnies I unearthed. There's really nothing more to do. Isn't even your critical eye satisfied?
Are you absolutely sure about that? We're about to have a family gathering. Remember what happened last year? Aunt Mildred tripped over that throw rug you haphazardly placed in the hallway and sprained her ankle so bad she needed a walking boot for weeks. The entire family blamed you for weeks. If anything goes wrong this time, you will be responsible for it, young lady. Don't think for a second that the blame will fall on anyone else. Especially not on me, the perfect hostess.
Well, then why don't you check this place and make sure everything's perfect according to your ever-changing standards? Walk around, touch every surface, poke and prod. Leave no corner unexplored in your quest for imperfection. Then maybe you'll be satisfied and you'll leave me alone.
Saying that means you're not confident in your own work. Without having it checked by a seasoned professional like myself, you can't even be sure you did things right. This is all basic housekeeping, Laura. Dusting, vacuuming, organizing. It's not rocket science. You should be able to do this with your eyes closed by now.
You're always like that. You never check my work because you want to criticize me later in front of everyone. You want to find some tiny mistake so you can belittle me, make yourself feel superior. Isn't that your favorite game? A game I'm getting very tired of playing.
Then work harder so that I don't have to criticize you. That way you can become a superb housewife, just like I was at your age. Back in my day, I could clean a house blindfolded while reciting Shakespeare and baking a 3-tier cake. All before breakfast.
Really? That's some impressive multitasking. Although I can't imagine why anyone would want to clean a house blindfolded. Sounds dangerous.
Let me tell you, I can make 100 complaints to even the very finest hotels. In other words, if you no longer receive complaints from me, that means you have become 100 times more skilled than the employees working in a super luxury hotel. Wouldn't that be nice? A dream come true, wouldn't you say?
100 complaints? You're just a complainer through and through. You'd find fault with a cloudless sky if it meant you could criticize someone.
Shut up! I'm trying to train you. You should be thanking me. I used to be strictly trained by my mother-in-law too. Young people these days are so spoiled. It's pathetic. They don't know the value of hard work or the satisfaction of a spotless home.
I don't think I'm spoiled. I work hard. I have a full-time job. And now I have to come home and clean for your never-ending standards. It's exhausting.
You are spoiled. Just look at you with your clean clothes and perfect hair. You wouldn't know hard work if it bit you in the behind. I'm going to knock that laziness out of you. So be prepared for it. This is just the beginning, young lady. There's a long road of cleaning and criticism ahead for you.
But I don't think it's a good idea to set up a camera in the living room. That's too much. I can't even relax in my own home. Isn't there a point where you'd think I'd proven myself?
Relax? There's no time for relaxation in this house, young lady. Not until everything is spotless and gleaming. Think of all the dust bunnies lurking in the corners. the fingerprints waiting to be wiped away. You are a non-stopping housekeeping train, remember? Always moving, always cleaning.
Non-stopping housekeeping train? That's what you call me? Is that all you see me as? Some kind of machine? I'm a person, Susan, not a chore list with legs.
Laura, are you okay? You seem to have been working non-stop today. Why don't you sit down and relax a little? Your face is flushed and your hands look like they've been in water for hours. Let me get you a cool drink.
Oh, Gracie, thank you for your concern, but I shouldn't be resting. Susan would have my head if she saw me sitting down. I'm a non-stopping housework train, remember? If I stop cleaning, even for a second, the whole house will fall apart.
What are you talking about? A house doesn't fall apart just because someone takes a break.
Well, there's a lot going on anyway. Susan wants every single inch of this house spotless before the family arrives. It's like preparing for a royal visit, not a casual gathering. I can't take a break, not even to catch my breath.
Perhaps. Is that what Susan tells you? Or is it her way of keeping you busy so you don't have time to think about anything else?
Bingo! That's exactly her training strategy. She says a good housewife never stops working, not until everything's perfect. Apparently even robots need breaks occasionally, but not me. I must be some kind of superwoman in her eyes.
Oh, I see. She must be very hard on her daughter-in-law. Ashamed of herself for being so mean at a good old age? Laura, honey, you can just ignore her and take a rest. Your well-being is more important than some arbitrary cleaning schedule.
But what if something goes wrong? What if a speck of dust escapes my notice, or a crumb finds its way onto the floor? Susan will have my head on a platter.
You won't feel comfortable or relaxed if you keep on working like this. You'll end up exhausted and resentful. Let's sit together and have a chat. That's what family gatherings are for. Catching up and enjoying each other's company. Not turning ourselves into cleaning machines.
Thank you, Gracie. I really appreciate your kindness. You're the only voice of reason in this house today.
By the way, have you talked to Avon about this? That Susan is treating you like a slave driver?
No, I haven't been able to talk to him yet about it. He's in the midst of an important job right now, so I don't really want to worry him with household drama.
But he was looking at you with a concerned look on his face just now. I'm sure he has some idea of what's going on. You need to talk to him about it, Laura. Don't bottle it up inside. A problem shared is a problem halved.
Oh, I'm aware of that. Susan's treating me extremely badly today, so I'm trying to be a little dramatic, cleaning with exaggerated fervor. Maybe Avon will pick up on it and sense the situation I'm in.
Oh, was that so? You're a clever girl, Laura. In a good way. I'm a little relieved. I guess you'll be fine then. You seem to have a plan and the support of your family.
So, Gracie, you don't have to worry about me. Please enjoy your time here. Relax. Have some delicious food Susan prepared and leave the dramatics to me.
Thank you, Laura. I'll do that. And remember, if things get too tough, don't hesitate to come find me.
Where the hell are you? Get back here and do the chores. The dishwasher is almost full.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Hospital? You're a housewife, not a nurse. Why do you need to be at the hospital now?
Even if you're not a nurse, you could still go there as a patient. Then let me explain why I'm here. I came to the hospital because you hit me in the head with a tray, and I bled all over. Are you satisfied now?
There's no way you could bleed by just something like that.
Look at the couch I was sitting on. There's traces of blood. You hit me with all your might, and the corner of the tray cut my head.
That's because you sat on the couch. You've been trying to skip out on your chores.
Why can't I just sit on the couch for a second? Besides, it was in a different room from where the relatives were, so no one would have realized.
A daughter-in-law is not even allowed to rest for a moment. I told you so, didn't I? Why did you leave the relatives to the sunroom? That made it very hard to serve them lunch. Being far away from the kitchen.
I thought they would enjoy the autumn scenery.
You increased your workload on your own. Just get back here and clean up the kitchen.
Why are you so hard on me?
It's for your own sake. When I was young, my mother-in-law was hard on me too.
By Gracie?
Yes, I got brutal lessons from that woman. So I'm going to make you suffer the same thing.
That's the only reason you've been treating me like this. I was hit on the head with a tray for such a stupid reason.
Shut up. You've been a cocky little bitch from the start. I have no idea why Avon even married you. Anyway, get the hell back here. You have work to do as my daughter-in-law.
I told you, I can't. I'm at the hospital right now. Besides, I don't want to go back to a place with a person who has no hesitation in committing violence for stupid reasons.
You call that violence? You're overreacting. It's normal to re-educate a daughter-in-law who tried to skip chores at a family gathering. I can't believe you'd go to the hospital just by getting hit with a tray. Hey, what the hell is wrong with you? Why did you hit me like that? My face is burning.
Because you're my daughter-in-law and you were sprawled out on the couch like a queen while everyone else was slaving away. Have you forgotten what family means?
I'm your daughter-in-law. But that doesn't mean I'm some kind of servant. I was just taking a moment to rest after helping set up all morning.
Rest? You call that lazy lounging rest? To me, you are my daughter-in-law. A daughter-in-law must always be on her feet, keeping things afloat. Can't you see the mountains of dishes piling up? Where's your work ethic?
But still, hitting me wasn't the answer.
Are you trying to tell me that hitting you was too much? How can you say that after sending Laura to the hospital the other day? You practically used that serving tray as a weapon.
I would never do anything so horrible in front of everyone. Even at that time, I was just trying to correct a bad habit. We were in private.
That's because you thought you would be criticized if you did it in front of everyone. Admit it. Don't act innocent now.
Well, that's not entirely true. But a tray to the head? Unforgivable. Don't you think so?
Of course you hit her in the head with a tray. Whatever the reason, it's not acceptable. You should be ashamed. Don't you think so?
You did that unacceptable thing too. You practically turned my life into a living hell when I first married Matthew.
Here we go again. It's like we've gone full circle. We used to argue like this nonstop 30 years ago, remember?
Shut up! You started it all. You made me a nervous wreck with your constant nagging. You were hard on me when I was still young and was trying my best to adjust myself to this new married life. Don't tell me you've forgotten.
Are you trying to say your little outburst with Laura is payback for what I did to you?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I never scolded you unreasonably. I only pointed out your flaws out of love. from my point of view as your mother-in-law. When you did something wrong, it was my duty to correct it.
No, it wasn't like that at all. You saw me as a threat, an enemy you needed to control. You bullied me to relieve your own stress, not because you cared.
Don't be ridiculous. It was all because of your awful deeds. You used Matthew's credit card for those outrageously expensive clothes without his permission. And you even tried to convince him to use his company credit card on your personal trip to Hawaii. Matthew seemed so troubled that you wouldn't listen to him, so I decided to have a talk with you to put some sense into you.
This has nothing to do with the issue. You were just looking for a fight.
Don't deflect. I did scold you a lot, but it was because you had many problems with your behavior. Don't you think so yourself that your actions were wrong?
Oh, shut up. That was years ago. I was young and naive. Don't bring those things up again.
Laura is just as young as you were then, just trying to find her place in this family.
Ugh. I told you to shut up. Just quit it already. You're making this worse.
You know what, Susan? You are no better than the young Matthew who was constantly scolded by me all those years. He acted entitled just like you.
Don't get carried away just because you got that old hag on your side. I'm going to crush that old hag. Then it will be the end for you too. Leeching off my hard-earned money and turning Matthew against me.
Crush her? Grandma Gracie might be old, but she's got more fire in her than you'll ever have.
Yes, well, fire or not, she hit me with a tray in front of all my relatives. So humiliating. I decided to sue her. Legal action is the only way this viper understands respect.
But you did the same thing to me just the other day. Why is it okay for you to do it, but not her?
There's a difference, you naive child. I was simply trying to train you in the ways of a proper housewife. A little discipline never hurt anyone.
Training? It didn't seem like anything of the sort to me. If you're going to sue Gracie for assault, then I'm going to sue you for the exact same thing.
Are you crazy? Don't you know how expensive lawsuits are? You wouldn't last a minute in court.
It's only natural you get sued too, since you did the same thing to me. Maybe a taste of your own medicine will knock some sense into you.
Where is the proof that I hit you? You can't just make accusations like that.
What? Are you trying to gaslight me now?
I never hit you with a tree, Laura. That's ridiculous. Gracie said she saw the scene too. But I think the poor dear must have made a mistake in the heat of the moment.
I'm amazed at how terrible you can be. You're not just a nasty mother-in-law. You're the worst kind of person that could ever be. Lying, manipulating, and now trying to rewrite history?
Oh, that's defamation, you know? I'll sue you for it on top of everything else.
You seem to have forgotten, but there's a camera in the living room where you hit me. Seems your memory isn't as good as you think.
Oh, I totally forgot about that darn
I saved the
camera.
video data that night, so I have clear proof that you hit me while I was sitting on the sofa minding my own business.
That's why you let the relatives to the sunroom instead of the living room? You were setting me up all along?
Yes, I figured you might pull something behind everyone's back. I didn't expect you to hit me with the tray, though. That was a new low.
Well, then I should also have proof Gracie hit me. An eye for an eye.
It was in the sunroom, where there were no cameras. You say that Gracie hit you, but isn't that some kind of misunderstanding? Maybe you bumped into something in your rage.
You! You've got to be kidding me. Fine. I still have a lot of witnesses on my side. I'll get the other relatives on my side and get you two out of here. This house is mine, and you'll be living on the streets.
Good luck with that. Most of them saw how you treated me, and I have a feeling they won't be too keen on siding with a bully.
Hey, what the hell did you say to Avon? You must have been whispering poison in his ear. You must have said something to my husband, too.
Did something happen, Susan? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like you're the only one who's been causing a scene, and not me.
Don't play dumb with me, Laura. Don't think I haven't seen you smirking in that self-righteous way. Ethan told me he was cutting ties with me. With his own mother. Can you believe the nerve?
Well. Of course no one wants to be family with a mother who throws tantrums and resorts to physical violence behind everyone's back, but it's not like I held a gun to his forehead and forced him to disown you.
Violence? Are you calling that little tap with a tray violence? And what about Matthew? He's saying he'll divorce me after all these years together. This is your fault.
He must be saying that for the same reason. Your husband seemed to be very dismayed by all the commotion you caused. Instead of getting everyone on your side with your dramatics, you're having the opposite effect. You're pushing everyone away. I guess it's only natural when they see your true colors. A manipulative, controlling woman who can't handle the slightest disagreement.
This is all your fault, Laura. I was simply trying to teach you a lesson. To show you the ropes of being a proper wife. Why do I have to be the one painted as the villain here? This isn't fair.
Susan, please stop wandering around the house like a lost ghost. We've cut ties, remember? This is no longer your home. Please leave.
That's the house I lived in for almost 30 years. Filled with memories. Happy and sad. Please forgive me. I beg you. Let me stay. I can't bear to leave. Think of all the holidays we celebrated here. The laughter we shared.
Those moments are mine too, Susan, but tainted by your recent actions. It's not my decision to make. Since the divorce has been finalized, Matthew and I own this house now. There's really nothing you could do about it. Why don't you just go back to your hometown? Start fresh and reconnect with old friends.
I don't want to start fresh. I don't want to be alone. I want to stay here, where everything feels familiar, even if it hurts. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for everything I've done. Please forgive me. Please. I'll do anything to make things right.
I can't help you, Susan. Your apologies ring hollow with everything you've put us through. If you continue to disturb us, I'll have no choice but to call the police and have you escorted out.
No, don't. Please don't call the police. I won't disturb you anymore. I'm leaving, okay? I just needed to see the house one last time. To say goodbye to the ghosts of the past.
Susan, did you do something bad besides what we already know? Threat, stalking, anything more sinister? Because calling the police seems like a bit extreme for a simple goodbye.
No. It's just that I get nervous around cops. They bring back bad memories, you see. Unpleasant experiences.
Well, I don't think you need to be nervous unless you did something bad. Something you should be turning yourself in for.
I've done nothing wrong. So no need to worry. Just for confirmation. Even with a complete and sincere transformation. You'll never forgive me for what I've done?
Look, Susan, forgiveness isn't the point anymore. Just like all the other relatives, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Please just leave us alone. Just don't show your face here again.
Even if I were to earnestly reflect on my behavior and change my attitude, become a better person, the kind of mother-in-law you always deserved?
No matter how much you change your attitude, I'm confident that I'll still be able to find something to complain about, just like you being able to manufacture 100 complaints at a luxury hotel. There's a difference between a minor inconvenience and the kind of emotional turmoil you put everyone through. Now leave. After that, I blocked my mother-in-law's number and cut off all contact from her. She seems to come check on the house from time to time, but as soon as I suggested calling the police, she stopped coming. I was worried she might be doing something bad, and sure enough, we heard that she'd been arrested by the police and charged with purse snatching. She had been repeatedly snatching people's purses with a motorcycle she'd stolen, but she had no license to drive a motorcycle. I laughed when I heard the details, wondering why she would go through the trouble of making a minor charge more severe. After being arrested and paying the damages and debts, she finally gave up and went back to her hometown. She now lives quietly at her parents' house, where her own sister and husband live. I hope she'll reflect on her bad deeds and change her attitude. Since she left, the house has been completely peaceful. And now we live happy, and I enjoy my life as a housewife. I cannot thank Gracie enough for giving me the opportunity to fight back.